Now, A Hat in Time was one of those games I heard a few things about throughout the last couple of years, believe it or not. I think it might have been my brain scratch co-com Lewis who made me aware of it at first. It's a little blurry if I'm being honest. But then I saw it in action for myself at a Games Done Quick event in 2016, which was a little weird seeing as the game wasn't technically completed yet. But it's had a playable beta for some time. I gave the beta a shot earlier this year during one of my Spotlight videos. Speaking of, I know you guys have been asking about the status of those videos. Well, stay tuned in January and I'll have an answer for you. So I played the beta, thought it was cute, I had fun for the amount of time I put into it, and I figured, you know what, I think I will support this. I'm always willing to contribute to an indie project if I think it has promise, and sure, it's always a gamble, but I try not to let that demoralize me because when it pays off, it generally pays off well. From what I've read, A Hat in Time has been in development since 2012. Director Jonas, I'm always horrible with last names, Jonas Karlev, my apologies if you're watching this by any chance, anyway, he thought there was a lack of dedicated 3D platformers at the time. Remember, this is 2012. I know we have, titles like Yooka-Laylee and all that today, but he yearned to create a 3D platformer akin to Super Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie with a visual design that wouldn't be out of place in 2002. Originally, Jonas Kevlar was the sole developer, but with enough support, it eventually grew into a group of folks, spanning across different countries labeling themselves as Gears for Breakfast. Gross. One highly successful Kickstarter campaign later, several beta builds have been playtested by backers and fans alike, and here we are. This is A Hat in Time. We're never given a name for our protagonist in this adventure, but folks are keen on calling her Hat Kid, so Hat Kid it is, an extraterrestrial child that's fully capable of piloting her own spaceship, might have a bit of narcissism, and even has a working Roomba. As she's orbiting a nearby planet on her way towards her home, a citizen of Mafia Town demands that she pays a toll before she's able to pass by. Hat Kid refuses, of course, but the Mafia goon is adamant on collecting and smashes through the window, causing Hat Kid and many of her ship's power supply to fall into the planet below. Though she's more annoyed than worried, Hat Kid lands in Mafia Town and runs into Mustache Girl, a child wishing to give the Mafia the comeuppance she thinks they deserve and is willing to be friends with Hat Kid if it means achieving her goals. This friendship doesn't last too long, however, as Mustache Girl is a little overzealous about fulfilling her mission, while Hat Kid only cares about collecting the hourglasses so that she can get back home, putting her at odds with Mustache Girl's agenda. On the one or two times you actually run into her afterwards, she's sort of downplayed after the intro. From then onward, Hat Kid's goal is to simply travel across the world and look for her hourglasses. There isn't much regarding a main story in this game. You're a kid who lost her power supply for her ship to get back home. It's time to get that shit back. That's about it. Besides Mafia Town, there's a few other areas of interest that, on top of having more hourglasses to collect, have their own stories to tell. The two brothers looking to win the next major movie award, with Hat Kid stuck in the middle of the feud, the Snatcher who takes your soul hostage and forces you to do menial work to get it back, and finally ALPINE SKYLINE that, well, actually it doesn't have much in any story now that I look back, but damn is it big and pretty. You're an alien kid forced to trek through this planet you've never been to just so you can get your shit and head back home, so there's little rhyme or reason why you travel to this part of the world or that part of the world, and that can come across as disjointed, especially in regard to Mustache Girl, who's introduced and then kind of forgotten about until the end game. But I still want to say overall, I found this to be an interesting change of pace. Normally the hero collects the MacGuffins that they eventually fight the bad guy and save the day, but in this, Hat Kid doesn't make it a point to befriend anyone or be a goody two-shoes. She has a mission, she wants to go back home, and she's going to do what it takes to make sure she gets her hourglasses back, even if it means helping the very people who got her in this mess in the first place. At times she could be a real brat, and I don't just mean that in like a child sense. One of the missions later requires that you burn portraits containing the souls of unfortunate victims, and she has no qualms about it whatsoever. I was surprised by the amount of dark comedy a game as bright and colorful like this had. But, A Hat in Time isn't the new standard in macabre narratives for 3D platformers. It's got a shitload of humor that anyone can appreciate, I think. I laughed a lot playing this game, from the meta sense of humor, the numerous visual gags, even the little things made me smile in some fashion. Again, she has a Roomba in her spaceship. I don't know why I find that so funny, or how about her quote-unquote supercomputer that can do technologically advanced works of art like a text-based adventure game or an internet browser that might be older than Netscape. It still didn't stop me from searching for porn, and oh shit, I got an achievement for that. A Hat in Time isn't too concerned with telling a story. I think that much is obvious. It wants to make you laugh and have a good time through its witty writing and homage to 3D platformers of old. I was reminded of Psychonauts a lot, which might have been intentional seeing as one of the items you can mod into the game is Razz's hat, which even lets you do his little telekinetic roll maneuver. But now that we're jumping into the game, this is pretty simple to run through. If you've been playing 3D platformers since the late 90s, I think it's safe to say jumping into A Hat in Time will take no effort at all. What you're seeing here is what you get. You travel across these open-ended worlds and search for your prized hourglasses using a combination of Hat Kid's personal finesse and power-ups. To defend herself, Hat Kid can smack things in the face with her parasol. It's reliable if a little herky jerk, especially against nimble creatures like those dickheads that can steal your possessions in ALPINE SKYLINES. I try to ignore these when I can. Hat Kid can also just straight up do Sonic's homing attack against a string of bad guys as long as she's above them, and later she can score a hook shot, and with this, you can swing on all these hooks scattered across every world, leading to some exhilarating momentum-based platforming. She's capable of double jumping and has a dive bomb technique that can get her some serious distance if you aim it just right. She can run up walls for a short period and combine with her double jump can get some vertical height if you're good enough, though I wouldn't say it's as graceful as Mario's wall jump, and in close quarters it's sort of awkward to pull off, kind of like Sonic's parkour in Sonic Lost World. I deeply enjoy how Hat Kid handles as far as platformers go, but she is a bit on the floaty side. While this means stringing together a series of jumps and dives to get the movement going is incredibly fun and fulfilling, more so in those high-stakes scenarios, this makes her sort of clumsy when it comes to smaller than average platforms or tightropes. I cringed every time I saw a tightrope because it's easy as hell to overshoot them or misjudge where Hat Kid will end up when trying to land on them from certain angles. I lost my share of health and lives admittedly because of that kind of shit. But on the plus side, you have infinite lives, and this game is pretty generous with checkpoints. You'll get it all done in due time. I just wish, maybe these platforms could have been a little bigger and all that. Worlds are broken up into chapters that sometimes place you in a different part of the world for that specific challenge, though this means you can't obtain every hourglass in any order you choose because of how level design changes. There is still much to discover by exploring. Well, you'll probably collect the most of these little puns. They're needed to unlock more levels, but they can also be used to buy badges from this freaky motherfucker that grant you special bonuses like preventing fall damage or giving you a large beam attack, or maybe let you ride a scooter for some fast traveling. You can find numerous relics that, when combined back on your spaceship, unlock hidden bonus levels that score you more hourglasses for completionist sake, or you can find rift tokens that you can spin on this roulette wheel to unlock new cosmetics for your hat collection or perhaps a new set of colors for your outfit. What you really want to find though are balls of yarn. Take some notes, you fucking fuck. By collecting enough of these, you can stitch together a new hat that gives you a new ability, like a hat that can toss explosives, or one that gives you an icy ground pounder, something that helps you run faster. There's several things you can make, and best of all, you can switch between all these hats at any time, anywhere, once you get a hold of them. A hat for every occasion, so that you can fully explore every nook and cranny for either more currency or hourglasses. There's a total of 40 of these to 100% the game, though you only need about 25 to actually finish it. But if you want to nab all the collectibles, you're gonna need all those hats, so grab those balls of yarn when you see them. You really can't miss them with how brightly they glow. It's quite clear this game oozes a lot of design found in Super Mario 64 and the like. I'd say Banjo-Kazooie, but I personally, even to this day, have not played Banjo-Kazooie or its sequel, so I don't know how much of this game was inspired by those specifically. There's even some levels you can't finish without getting the proper upgrade first in a later chapter. I know the obvious comparison are the special caps in Mario 64, but I was reminded more of Toy Story, where Buzz needed certain upgrades to finish a chapter in a previous level just to get more Pizza Planet tokens. In fact, throughout the game, I don't know, I was reminded of a lot of games I used to play as a kid. I guess you can say A Hat in Time is in some way uninspired. I mean, the special bonus stages might as well be ripped straight from Super Mario Sunshine, but that's not always a bad thing. If the game is perfectly functional, doesn't ask for much in terms of price, and in many ways has its own brand of charm, then the game could be a collective cocktail of a lot of shit that's already been done before, and I wouldn't care as long as it's fun. And A Hat in Time, for me, was pretty damn fun. I ended up 100% in the game no problem, and it took me about 14 hours to do so. So there's plenty of substance here for its $30 price tag. You still taking notes down? Good. You fuck. Was it from beginning to end a fun-filled adventure? No, I had some down points. Though I loved SUBCON Force's artistic design and the presence of the Snatcher, I thought the world felt a bit aimless when I was just trying to explore for collectibles. A lot of things blended in with one another and lacked set pieces to help me establish where I've been and haven't been. Though everything involving Queen Vanessa, Jesus Christ, that was something else. Eat your fucking heart out, Unagi. ALPINE SKYLINE has some of the best and most creative platforming challenges in the whole game, but it was also pretty tiring to finish up. It's one of the largest worlds to jump around in, and getting from one place to the next felt unnecessarily long and winded. I still got everything at the end, but I was definitely wiped out afterwards. And I think it's cute that A Hat in Time yearns to pay tribute to earlier games with its simpler graphics, and I do think it works just fine when things are in motion. It's when things come to a halt where I'm able to see through the seams, and sometimes the game can look a little rough in presentation. There's more than enough voice acting to go around, most of which I find just fine with a couple of exceptions, but faces remain static and don't emote during dialogue, something I gave Mighty No. 9 shit for. Indie title or not, it just feels cheap. That said, even with those grievances, there was much more I found awesome. The soundtrack is beautiful. There were some compositions that immediately just stuck to my brain like a fucking parasite. Pascal Michael Stifle, I think I got that right, you did good. It's nice and varied to keep it tied to the current setting, my personal favorites being Clock Towers Beneath the Sea, the music that plays during the hidden levels, and its remixed variant composed by Adolescence F Music, and everything in Chapter 2. I love Chapter 2. Whether you were working for the conductor or DJ Grooves, there was something for me to relish in, from the challenges given, the vintage sepia tone to set the mood during the train missions, the top-notch humor. This was a cut above the rest, but I still think the game manages to keep that consistent throughout the whole adventure, even in the spots where I think it doesn't hit the mark entirely, like the areas I mentioned previously. The boss fights were great. They're highly kinetic, tests the reflexes that fully expect you to utilize Hat Kid's abilities to the fullest extent. But again, it's also not too stressful since you have infinite lives and checkpoints are plentiful. So yeah, A Hat in Time was a good time. Look, if you couldn't tell by now, I'm not the most sophisticated writer. I'm pretty sure I make English teachers fucking weep. But yeah, this is a good game, and I'm glad I got to experience this, and as such, I recommend you play it for yourself. It's on sale at the time of this video as part of Steam's winter sale, so you can get it for around 24 bucks, and if you can, I do recommend the Steam version. It's on PS4 and Xbox One, so there's something for everyone, but the Steam version comes with a mod workshop. There's a lot you can do here. You can put Hat Kid and Say Womp's Fortress from Mario 64 or Gold Leaf Galaxy from Mario Galaxy, as well as download this shitload of different hat mods and color skins readily available from other players. Get more bang for your buck. Though I do feel bad that console owners get the short end of the stick with that exclusion. Well, if you haven't gotten it yet, you know where to look now at least. Okay, so this is where I go off script a bit, which is always a fun time because I sound like a stammering idiot with nothing to read, nothing to rehearse, anything like that. It's just me and the camera and the microphone here. Hey, how's it going? Well, I can't believe it's already been a year, another year for this channel, and next year, specifically 2018, March specifically, is a very big deal, very special occasion for this channel specifically because this channel will be turning 10 years old. I cannot believe that. You know, I'm flabbergasted on the amount of people that just want to take the time out of their day to listen to this bum from Philadelphia just talk about video games and do all the kinds of stupid shit like that, and it amazes me the amount of support I've gotten throughout the years and how much support continues to just show even today as this channel broke 300,000 subs, the amount of love that you guys just share. It's fantastic, and I can only hope that the next marathon makes up for it because it's the Donators Marathon. You've never been to this channel before, if you missed the first one I did a couple of years back, it's basically I take a look at games that have been gracefully donated to me throughout the years through conventions and all that other shit. But for like you guys, the subscribers sitting down watching the channel, it might as well be a randomized grab bag of videos. I get way out of my comfort zone, but I look at games or whatever the hell I get, I take a look at, and hopefully that leads to fun times. For anything else I have planned for the moment, stay tuned. See, that's the lack of script right there. Stay tuned at the beginning of January. I got some big announcements coming for the live stream scheduling. I'm starting to get back into those, and I know you guys have been waiting for that for a while now, so I finally have information on that. But I'll wait until the beginning of next year, which is only a couple days away. Don't freak out to get you more information on that. For anyone who's attending MagFest, I'm heading to MagFest next week, so if you're in the area, say hi. I don't bite. I'll be with my friends and family, and hopefully we'll have a great time together. And to all those that just hitting here, just enjoying yourself here, you all have a fantastic new year. Here's to 2018, and I hope it's a good one. I hope we're all alive to live by the end of the fucking run. I'm rambling, so thank you all for watching. Have yourself a fantastic night, and take care.